You know, the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, and it's playing out right here. There's a theme, and you know, like you're well trained in classical music, Raghunath, being a
Yes, I am.
violinist,
Yes, I am.
and so in my meager understanding of classical music, I know that sometimes there's a theme, and then they do variations on the theme, right?
Yeah.
Like there's the
Yes.
Goldberg variations, right? There's a theme.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, oh
The
yes, very
Goldberg
good, Kaustubha.
variation.
Yes, yes.
Continue on.
Just see the young man trying to understand our music,
Good
our
job.
culture.
Good job. Yes.
So there's a theme, and then you do variations on the theme. The theme that goes across the Bhagavatam is that the Vedas taught about um, bhoga in a sense, trying to find happiness through the material realm. And then the Upanishads, they really taught a lot about moksha, letting go of any material desires. So one is interested in enjoying this world, one is interested in escaping the pain of this world. But beyond both of those is bhakti. Right? It's something beyond. Divine love transcends all of this. That's the theme. And all these different pastimes that play out in Bhagavatam are variations on that theme. We see that theme play out in Dhruva. We see it play out in Prahlad. We see it play out in Ambarish. We see it play out again and again and again in so many different ways. That same message comes across that divine love is the highest principle. Don't forget it.
I will say that Wisdom of the Sages is doing something good because I feel like
Okay.
I'm understanding the Bhagavatam better than I've ever understood it before. Just of us going through it and just like going back and forth and talking these things
Yeah.
over, and I feel like I'm learning it in a new way. Um, and another interesting thing is because I was a fan of just Vedic culture, period, before I
Okay.
became a devotee, but I really feel like the Bhagavatam itself is zooming out of any particular path and just letting you see like a helicopter view, a bird's eye view of what's going on. Like when the plane first takes off out of Albany, New York, or out of JFK, you're like,
Mhm.
oh, there's Long Island, there's Queens, there's Brooklyn, there's the Hudson River, there's the East River. That's where it joins with the Bay. I get it now. That's what is going on. You're gonna see. You're gonna see these types of liberation from the material realm. You're gonna see like higher realms of the heavens. There's different heavens. I've never heard of that before. Yeah, they're different
Yes.
heavens,
Yes.
and they're great. They're really great, but they're temporary. Oh, crud. So I don't want those either, right? No. Not only that, you don't even want liberation. Why not liberation? It's higher than the heavens. Yep. No, 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 no. We got something better. So it's showing the nuances of spiritual evolution.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from Super Soul Farm, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily spiritual podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center in New York City, Kaustubha. Welcome to the show. It's March 17th, 2025. This is episode 1556. Happy Monday, everybody. We used to call this Makeover Monday.
Yeah.
That was the old name of this. It's sort of like, it's Monday. Whatever you did last week, that's over. Time to start
did that.
over. One day at a time here, people. It's Monday. Got a whole new slate or a new canvas to paint on. Good morning, Prabhu.
But now we call it Wear Your Merch Monday.
Oh, that's right. Monday, and here I'm representing. You like the merch? You go to wisdomofasages.com. You get some merch. Take a picture of yourself wearing the merch. Send it to Wisdom of the Sages, and we'll repost it, and we'll tag you, and
That kind of thing.
yeah, that kind of thing. It gets people talking. You know what? If I find that when I wear my merch around, people say things.
Nice things.
I'm sick of your podcast. No, they say, oh my God. Not everybody. It's not like I get droves of people around me going, where'd you get that shirt? But there's one guy like, Wisdom Sages. Wait a second. Stuff like that. Or one guy going, what is that? Tell me about that. Yeah,
I've had that in New York City, just walking down the street on several occasions, several times over
I've
the
had it
past
in-
5 years. It has
Yeah.
happened.
It's true. It's true. It's true. I've had it in Mumbai. I've had it in weird places. So do it. Do it.
We
See
also
what
have
happens.
You might make a friend or an
Just
enemy.
watch the magic start to happen, right?
Yes.
Drago?
Yeah, the magic happens. It is a step towards, you know what? It's easier than it's an easier way of coming out than the old way is like, okay, I'm gonna wear a dhoti publicly. That was a little
Much
harder.
easier.
It's much.
Come on, people.
Okay, Mara, you got any news before we start this thing?
Well, that was my announcement right there.
Oh,
but
that was
we're-
your announcement?
But we also have hats and beanies that are new in our.
Oh, you should be
online
wearing
shop.
one of those right
You know,
now.
I have
Yeah.
to go to Albany and pick them up. I'll do that.
Yeah, you should.
Yes.
It's gonna be like spring before you know it. It's gonna be well. I guess the baseball hats you could wear.
I'll wear a beanie in the summer. But
Alright.
anyway, I've got an announcement for you. I'm going to be speaking at Harvard Divinity School today.
Professor, you're going to be sporting that mustache.
Yes,
and you're
I
gonna
am. Yes, and
Yeah.
I called my mother yesterday and told her. I was like, "Hey, Mom, guess what? I was asked to speak at Harvard Divinity School tomorrow." And she's like, "What?" I was like,
I'll go up there.
"I'm speaking at Harvard Divinity School tomorrow." She's like, "What?" I was like, "Turn off the TV. Just hear me for a second. I know you value university education. I'm speaking. I was asked to speak by the Harvard faculty at Harvard Divinity School." And she's like, "Okay." I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Okay. No, she goes, "What are you going to speak about?" I was like, "Come on, Mom." Anyway,
Well, it wasn't exactly the faculty, right? I mean, I don't mean to steal your thunder.
faculty asked Happy Jack to write a thesis. His thesis was this presentation
Okay.
for their faculty and the students.
Okay, so the
They'll all be
student asked you to
listening
be on it
at the
for the
edge of
faculty.
their seat.
Okay, but
They'll
it
be on
wasn't
the
like,
edge of their seat, my
you
friend.
just stretched it a little bit there, right?
I'm speaking at Harvard Divinity School.
Not exactly at there. It'll be online. but-
Everything's online. You can get an education online nowadays.
All right. Okay. It's wonderful. I mean, I'm doing it myself. I'm stealing my own thunder or whatever, raining on my own parade by saying that.
Anyway,
It's
the
great.
link, Mara's going to post the link in 1 minute. And if you guys want to hear me speak.
And the
about
fact is, there are
joy-
many very qualified speakers that are part of this.
Yes.
You're right there with them. I want to build it back up. No, for real. Happy Jack has done a great job, of pulling together a really fascinating group of speakers. And today, it's you.
I'm more honored just to speak alongside these speakers than I am necessarily at Harvard.
Okay.
I was a Yale fan when I was younger.
Really? Oh, because you're from Connecticut.
Yeah. Anyway, it's going to be great. So if you haven't checked out that link, the link is on the board right now. And then if you miss it at 9, you can watch it later, but it'll be sort of cool if our local, our
get some
regular
people
Zoomers are on there live, even if they're
If I wasn't busy, I would
definitely.
definitely tune in, Raghunath. I got my gig, but
Yeah, right. Okay.
for real. Hey, I had a good day today.
That's right. Your day is almost over. How's our day looking for us?
It's
in the
not
future?
almost over. There's still so much more to do.
Okay, what happened in your day today? Oh, you went to
I went to-
Devprayag
To Devprayag.
with Jiva?
Jiva, Chapu, and we're kind of led by Vikram, our friend Vikram.
Nice.
Vikram, we were driving up there. As soon as we got it all in the car, we left about 7 a.m. from Rishikesh. And I said, Vikram, we got some time together in the car. We're going to find out a little bit about who you are. You're a mystery man. Who are you? Where are you from? What's your story,
He's an interesting guy. He's from England, right?
No, he's not from England, although he has lived in England. He's from India. But he's just, he has a certain way about him, doesn't he? He's got a lot of insights. He can lead you around the holy places. Up here, he knows all these holy places very well.
Yeah.
And so we heard about his story, how he got into Bhakti and all
How did he get
that.
into Bhakti?
Well, he said from the time he was like 6 years old, he was like, he used to read these, I don't know if it was the comic books or some kind of he had some kind of books. He was saying he had some kind of books, and it showed like a picture of Dhruva Maharaj. You know, like Lord Vishnu is putting the conch shell on his head, and he's getting like all these deep realizations about Vishnu. You know, and saying his prayers about Vishnu. He's like, that's what I want.
Mm.
You know, I want to go to the forest. And his mother said, okay, well, you can go to the forest. He's like, okay, I'm ready to go. And she's like, it's just, we live in Delhi. There's really no forest around here. You know? But he had it inside him. And he began to study at the Chimayananda mission, which is kind of if I understand correctly, an offshoot of the Shivananda world. And in there, you know, he learned a lot, you know. There was some good education in Vedanta there, and ultimately it led him to discovering Bhakti. You know, where we went today is, you know, of course, Devprayag. Raghunath, I'm telling you, like, sometimes you say, oh, do I really want to drive all the way up there? It's going to take 2.5 hours driving, you know. The drive itself is absolutely fantastic.
Breathtaking,
you know?
isn't it?
It's so beautiful. We got some great photos. We'll show you the photos, but it's just like so beautiful. It's not just beautiful. It's like you feel something rise in you when you see these mountains and the river down, you know, the Ganges River, you know, winding below, and it's beautiful blue water, and the sun's coming over those. And you know how the sun does that in the mountains, where it's like one range of mountains is like lit up and one is like kind of darker and one is kind of, you know, it gives this effect.
Yep.
But beyond just the physical beauty of it, it's almost like everybody that's anybody in spirituality knows and knew that this is kind of where the material world kind of becomes the spiritual world, you know?
Mm.
Ram would come here to do tapas, you know, like Lord Ramachandra, you know, would come here, you know, the Pandavas and so many devas and, you know, gods and goddesses came to this place because they understood, you know, this is the connection spot. Like, even if you went through not even just the earth, but like practically the entire universe, it's right here where there's this connection is made. And it's something like as soon as you're going up those mountains and you're rising into them, you start to feel it rise in you, and everybody gets all excited. You know, it's just everybody's feeling it together. You know,
Exciting.
So
I was excited for you. Jiva sent me some pictures this morning.
yeah. Oh, so you saw something?
We're
huh?
staying
Yeah.
at that hotel. We're staying there in October. That's the first
Which
place we're
hotel?
going. There's a new hotel they're renovated right across the river, on the east side of the river, on the east side of the
In Rishikesh,
no, in
in Devprayag.
Devprayag.
Oh, good for you! Wow.
Yeah, no. Do a little.
Okay. Yeah. It makes me want to say, you know what? I want to go and spend a week there.
I know.
You
I'm
know, just spend a
psyched.
week. Bring a bead bag. Bring a Ramayana, or you know,
Right. Right.
or read a Bhagavatam read or something, and just sit there and just spend time and breathe that air. And it's, so anyway, we bathed in the river today, and it was like a kind of like a high tide kind of thing. Like the water was quite high and
Sure.
really rapid, like incredibly rapid. And there weren't a lot of people there. I don't know if it was Monday or what it
Was
was.
it safe bathing you felt or not really?
It was, although it almost felt like it wasn't, but it was. You know, they have this big long chain, and because the water was up high, you had to keep going out further. Like it, it was, it was, and you have to kind of get near like the rapids, but it was safe,
Okay.
and it was beautiful. It was otherworldly, Raghunath. It was otherworldly. You come out of that water, everybody's saying the same thing. You know, you feel like you feel reborn coming out of that water, and it's very palpable. It's really special. And so we
The
had a
cool thing, the
wonderful
cool thing is
meeting.
there you see two different colors of the river coming in, because
You do.
that is a prayag, or a confluence of two different rivers. So you see,
Although today the colors were not that much different. Interesting.
oh,
When I
you
was
know
here in
what?
October,
It's
they were
not
very
after
different.
you see that in autumn after the rainy season, because
Yeah.
the Bhagirati is a little darker and muddier, and
No,
one's
not the Bhagirati. The
Alakananda.
the Alakananda, I believe. Or maybe I got it back. You may be right. No, Alakananda. Yeah. So we bathed, and then we went up and we went to the Ram temple, this ancient Ram temple established by Adi Shankara. And
The
there's a deity,
Raghunath temple. The Raghunath temple.
the Raghunath temple. That's right. And
You're trying to cheat me out of everything here.
and we, there's a deity of Shankar himself, who in one sense we're at philosophical odds with, but in another sense we recognize him as an incarnation of Shiva who performed an incredible service of bringing India back to the Vedic texts and the Vedic teachings. And you could see that Vikram, coming from the Chinmayananda, world, he had this real profound appreciation. He was like, it's Shankar that brought me to Bhakti. And because he did have some Bhakti related compositions, in particular Bhaja Govinda, right?
Yeah. He wrote the Ganga Stotram?
We read the Ganga Stotram. Raghunath, it was beautiful to read there. It was so beautiful, so profound. The messages in that Stotram, in that poetry. Yeah, it was really
the Ganga Stotram. We used to read it when I used to drive my kids to school. Me and my kids would chant it together. It was like our morning ride to school. Isn't that cute?
That's sweet. And you and Mara still do it regularly, huh?
Yeah, we do it regularly.
Yeah. So anyway, it was a beautiful ride up, beautiful ride back. And, nice, even beyond the incredibly spiritually surcharged atmosphere, just wonderful to spend time with a few friends that way, This is how we get closer to each other and support one another and enjoy life together in a spiritual way,
Very beautiful. Very beautiful. Yeah. Okay, my dear. Let's carry on. Carry on, my wayward son.
Your dear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope, you got a nugget. Want to do a nugget? You want to go right into the Bhagavatam here?
As you like, Raghu.
Maybe we
go
can
right
just
into Bhagavatam?
Let's do the nugget later.
Okay.
Let's do the nugget later.
All right.
A delayed nugget. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam madirayat. Before we start in the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, which is every means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan. Unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayesha badreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati tamashloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. By regular attendance in classes in the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Jnana Tamanandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksurun Mandatam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my teachers are opening my eyes with a torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet. Reading from the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Let's see, Canto 9, Chapter 4, Text 65.
Okay, what's happening, Raghu? You remember? It's been a while. We had a day off.
I know.
We had a Q&A day, and we also had Gaur Purnima, where we did a different kind of show. So going back 4 days.
Let's see. We were it was Maharaj Ambarish.
Yes.
Who is a great, very powerful emperor. He was he performed this fast, and he had a guest at the last minute, right when he was about to break the fast. He had a guest coming in. It was Durvāsā Muni. Durvāsā Muni was, and he didn't know what to do, so he said, "Well, I'm going to drink a little bit of water because it's inappropriate to eat in front of the guest." You see that in Indian culture. You don't see it so much in America. Someone invites you over and they sit down and eat with you, but in India, always someone is standing. They serve you, and they're like, "Well, aren't you going to eat with us?" They're like, "No, you eat." And then after you're done eating, then we will sit down and eat. For an American, that's a little awkward. We were like, "Come on, sit and eat." But that's no. They want to serve the guests.
Yeah, we'll just put everything on the lazy Susan in the middle of the table, and everybody just grab it, whatever.
Yeah, we'll let. And
in India's like, "No, are you kidding me? You don't do that."
No, Susan, no lazy Susan. Lazy Susan, if you don't know, is one of those spinning things in the middle of the table. So, Maharaj Ambarish says, "Well, I'll drink a little water." And by drinking the water, it's sort of like breaking the fast, but it's sort of like not breaking the fast. So he drinks a little water, and sure enough, Durvāsā Muni catches him drinking the water, and he says, "How dare you? I'm your guest, and you're indulging yourself in front of me. How dare you?" And ferociously, he pulls a hair out of his head, throws it on the ground, and a demonic ball of fire being came out and started to chase Ambarīṣa. No, I can't say chase because he didn't really run.
Went after him.
He just went after Ambarish. But Ambarish was fearless, having taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. He was flinchless.
Flinchless.
But he also had this chakra weapon given to him by Lord Vishnu. And the chakra, which is also a ball of fire, so to speak, it consumed Durvāsa's ball, fiery being, and started to chase Durvāsa. And Durvāsa is desperately running
It's
to
kind of like
all
it's
the
got
different
a drone after him or something like that.
a drone with a red light going on you. So he desperately ran for his life. And he's approaching all the devas and asking for peace. And I can't remember where we left off.
So what happened was, by the way, just speaking about fasting, while we're going up there,
Yeah.
Vikram was thoughtful to bring some makana, some puffed lotus seeds.
Oh, I love those.
Raghunath, these were the best I ever had. They were cooked in olive oil and Himalayan pink salt. It was like,
Wow. You're like,
it
I'm
was
really
so-
living the life here. I'm having Himalayan
We
pink
really
salt in
were.
the Himalayas.
yeah, it was
They're
so
puffed
good.
lotus seeds. You felt so
But-
exotic, didn't you?
Well, honestly, no, it wasn't. It wasn't even exotic. It just tasted so good, and but on the package, it said, this is puffed lotus seeds. It's kind of like popcorn or something like that.
Yeah, it's like Indian popcorn. I'm not sure if they've been eating. We got to ask Ujjval Adhikari. Have they been eating that for years, Ujjval
I think
Adhikari?
so.
Or is it something new, like some new health food thing, a puffed lotus seed?
Let's hear.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna
think it's
unmute. I'm
been
gonna
around.
unmute him real 1 second.
Okay, well,
Let's get to the bottom of this. Ujjvala, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
There
Where are you?
we go.
Where are you listening from?
From Australia,
Oh,
Adelaide.
all right. Top of the morning. No, that's England. That's Ireland. Okay. Today. Good day.
Yeah.
So, puffed lotus seeds. Have you grew up eating those in India, or is that a new thing?
Well, I'm from Nepal, but yes,
Okay.
we grew up eating, and especially in Ekadasi, you can make like a kheer. That's but of makhana, like it's a sweet rice, but
yeah.
instead
But there's
of
no
rice-
grain in it.
Yeah, instead of rice, you put makhana, and then you make the
Yes.
sweet rice.
Sweet rice. So
Version of-
it's a grain-free sweet rice you can use.
Yes.
It's like a grain, but not a grain, so you can eat it on Ekadasi. So you said basically you have eaten it your whole life. Okay, it's not a new thing.
Yeah.
No.
Thank you for that. We just were checking
Thank
it.
you.
Thank
Clearing that up.
Clear it. It's great to get immediately. It's almost like
Yes.
AI. We can go right to humans from those places.
Yeah, the humans are more trustworthy. So, but my point was that right on the package it said suitable for fasting, right? And we all looked at that and saw it and we're like, only in India, right?
Only in India, suitable for fasting. Yeah,
Like suitable, you can eat this on Ekadashi. There's no grain in it.
it's very good. It's very
Yeah.
good.
So
Or the onions and garlic thing, like suitable for Jains, Jain friendly.
Jane, yeah,
You don't want to do the onions and garlic, Jain friendly.
yes.
So they should say Vaishnav friendly. It should say Vaishnav. It should have a V for Vaishnav,
Why only
a green
Jains?
V for vegan, and a V for Vaishnava. A different
like a
kind of
saffron
for
V, maybe an orange V.
Saffron V, perhaps, with a T-lock, with a T-lock V.
Or just a
That should
T-lock symbol. Doesn't even need the V.
Yeah. Kosher for K for kosher.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, what happened, Raghunath, is that Durvāsā went. He's trying to find relief. The fiery disc of Lord Vishnu is chasing him because he was so cruel and callous to Lord Vishnu's devotee. It's chasing the great, powerful mystic Durvāsā. He's got it burning on his back. He goes to Brahma. Brahma's like, I can't help you. He goes to Shiva. Shiva's like, I can't help you either. You need to go to Vishnu. It's his disc. So then Ambarish went to Vishnu. He's like, please help me. Only you can help me. And Vishnu starts to say, you know what? I can't help you. It's like you're asking me like that I should soften my heart for you. And what I'm telling you is that and you see, this is how the very deep, beautiful theological, spiritual teaching is framed.
Mm-hmm.
In that setting, Vishnu begins to give a soliloquy, about how his heart is owned by his devotees, how the love of his devotees actually makes him their prisoner practically. You know, he's so moved by love. He's not. This is where, if we've been, even if we have lots of knowledge, deep knowledge and gyan and renunciation, a lot of these powerful yogic qualities, but maybe we still have somewhere in the back of our consciousness some issue, some trigger. A personal God? No. I'm willing to accept that God's an energy. That'll work. But person? No. I don't want some heavy-duty tyrant kind of like, looming over me eternally, that I have some ontological position as being like, someone's, lackey or just like, being powerless against some being that's judging me and punishing me. And I can't accept that that's reality. And so here it's saying, no. Bhagavan, the personal feature of the Supreme, it actually includes all of the experience of connecting with the energy. When you connect with the Brahman, with the non-personal oneness of God, you realize, I'm not this body, I'm not this mind. All of these identities that I've been identifying with, they are all these temporary things that have really no meaning. All my material desires, they have no real true basis. I'm free. I'm beyond that. I'm eternal. I'm blissful by nature. You experience all that. And so a lot of people think, well, that's the goal right there. And it's great because there's no tyrant on top of you. But what they don't realize is, no, that's just your triggers. If you actually understood who's behind everything, then you connect with that person in love, and you get everything you get from Brahman realization, and you get a bliss of divine love that is your true nature, and is so far beyond that it makes everything, including moksha, pale in comparison. So in order that we understand that, Vyasa's framed this message out, Vyasadeva, the great compiler of the Vedic literature, and he wants to make it really clear here, no, it's not a tyrant. It's the sweetest person imaginable. And just listen how he talks. Listen how, this great powerful mystic is coming up to him, and he's suffering because he doesn't have pure devotion. And Vishnu's saying, my pure devotee, I'm subservient to him. He's got my heart right in his hands. I'm helpless to help. And so this is what he's saying now. There's a series of verses where this very beautiful message comes across.
I'll be your lackey.
No, I wouldn't want you to make you my lackey.
I want to be your lackey. It's a good word, isn't it? What does it mean? Like a slavish
Lackey?
servant? Yeah, I'll be your lackey. All right. So yeah, and
I'll
Maharaj Ambarish,
I'll be the lackey of your lackey.
that's all I want. That's all I pray for, is to be the lackey of your lackey of your lackey.
Many times removed.
It means a footman, a servant, someone who does menial tasks or runs errands for another. That's what we want to be. We're praying to be lackeys. That's our goal.
Yeah.
It's so
If it's
interesting
for the
how
right
in the material
person,
world, that is the worst position. And in the spiritual world, that's the highest position. Even Lord Vishnu wants to be the lackey of the devotee.
God himself becomes the lackey.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what text are we on?
65.
Okay,
65. Since pure devotees give up their homes, wives, children, husbands too, I guess, relatives, riches, and even their lives simply to serve me, without any desire for material improvement in this life or in the next, how can I give up such devotees at any time? Right?
They love me so much. How could I not love them?
Yeah, I can't abandon them. As chaste women bring their gentle husbands under the control by service, pure devotees who are equal to everyone and completely attached to me in the core of their heart bring me under control of their
Bring me under their
full control.
That
That's beautiful.
Yeah, this is just, it's taking theology of a personal deity to another level. Controlled by love. That's the message that Bhagavatam wants us to understand.
Controlled by love. We're controlled by love. Even the most powerful people are controlled by love. My devotees who are always satisfied to be engaged in my loving service are not interested even in the four principles of liberation: Salokya, Sarupya, Samipya, and Sarsti. Those are types of liberation. Isn't it interesting that just like the fact that there are those things,
Categorized.
there's different types of liberation, and we're not interested in them. Like the bhaktas are not interested in those. So there's books, there's paths, there's gurus who teach you how to get those, and we're not actually interested in them.
Yeah. Wanting nothing back, even moksha,
Yeah.
even liberation.
Yeah. Although these are automatically achieved by their service.
So even though
the
they're not
devotees already
interested,
get these things if
Yeah.
they want, What then is to be said of such perishable happiness as elevation to the higher planetary systems?
that's a material thing. That's below moksha. So
Very interesting stuff.
you know the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, and it's playing out right here. There's a theme, and you know, like you're well trained in classical music, Raghunath, being a violinist.
Yes, I am.
And so, in my meager understanding of classical music, I know that sometimes there's a theme, and then they do variations on the theme.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's the Goldberg variations, right? There's a theme.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
The Goldberg
Very good, Kaustubha.
variation.
Yes, yes.
Continue on.
Just see the young man trying to understand our music, our
job.
culture.
Good job. Yes.
So there's a theme, and then you do variations on the theme. The theme that goes across the Bhagavatam is that, the Vedas taught about bhoga, in a sense, trying to find happiness through the material realm. And then the Upanishads, they really taught a lot about moksha, letting go of any material desires. So one is interested in enjoying this world, one is interested in escaping the pain of this world. But beyond both of those is bhakti. It's something beyond. Divine love transcends all of this. That's the theme. And all these different pastimes that play out in Bhagavatam are variations on that theme. We see that theme play out in Dhruva. We see it play out in Prahlad. We see it play out in Ambarīṣa. We see it play out again and again and again in so many different ways. That same message comes across, that divine love is the highest principle. Don't forget it.
I will say that Wisdom of the Sages is doing something good, because I feel like I'm understanding the Bhagavatam better than I've ever understood it before. Just of us going through it and just like going back and forth and talking these things over, and I feel like I'm learning it in a new way. And another interesting thing is, because I was a fan of just Vedic culture, period, before I became a devotee, but I really feel like the Bhagavatam itself is zooming out of any particular path and just letting you see, like a helicopter view, a bird's eye view of what's going on. Like when the plane first takes off out of Albany, New York, or out of JFK, you're like, oh, there's Long Island, there's Queens, there's Brooklyn, there's the Hudson River, there's the East River. That's where it joins with the Bay. I get it now. That's what's going on. You're going to see these types of liberation from the material realm. You're going to see like higher realms of the heavens. There's different heavens. I've never heard of that before. Yeah, they're different heavens, and they're great. They're really great, but they're temporary. Oh, crud. So I don't want those either, right? No. Not only that, you don't even want liberation. Why not? Liberation, it's higher than the heavens. Yep. No. We got something better. So it's showing the nuances of spiritual evolution, whereas the Vedas is, in one sense, if I was just to randomly pick a book talking about the glories of having a body of Lord Vishnu, or residing on a planet of Lord Vishnu, it seems pretty good. Or just merging into the light seems pretty good. I've been merging into a lot of kleshas and pain in this world. I wouldn't mind merging into light sometimes. It's giving a bird's eye view of the nuances of joy.
Nice, Raghunath. Bird's eye. I like that.
Bird's eye.
We saw some birds today, Raghunath, because as you're coming...
You're a little squirrel boy today, aren't you?
Well, as you're coming down that mountain...
Isn't he?
There are eagles, Raghunath, that are so huge. they're very far away, and still they look incredibly. The wingspan on these birds, it just must be enormous. You
Yeah.
know? It must be
There's a lot
enormous.
of bald eagles in India too. You see a lot of
Yeah.
bald eagles.
Yeah, yeah. So here, the message is that Krishna's saying, my devotees, they love me without wanting anything for me. Can you imagine how moved I am by that? That they're not even interested in anything of this world. Even if I offer them some form of liberation, some form of mokṣa, they're like, no, no, no. I serve you because I love you. I'm not here to take anything from you. And he's saying, when someone comes to me with that kind of love, I'm their lackey. I'll do whatever. I'm the lackey of their lackey.
I'm the
You know,
toady of their lackey. A toady's lower than a lackey. Do you know that?
I had no idea.
That's what AJ Sullivan says on the message board.
Okay.
Look up toady,
And
please.
but here's a real important thing. And if we get this, we really start. To me, this is proof that the principle of bhakti is higher than any other principle, including moksha.
Mhm.
Because when you have bhakti, moksha is already included inside it. You already, all that one has in Brahman realization. I'm not this body. I'm eternal. These identities are temporary. The fleeting pleasures of this world don't attract me in any way. All that the gyanis are trying to get through Gyan and Vairagya, through knowledge and renunciation in Brahm, and achieve this Brahman realization, the person with love already has it, right? My love for God is so deep, I've lost interest in anything in this material world. So Brahman realization is inside divine love, but you may have Brahman realization and not have divine love.
There you go.
So, right? So one includes both, the other not necessarily. And so, I'm in trouble right now, Raghunath, because my computer battery is low and I have no electricity here.
Oh,
But
that's like me running out of gas, which I do on a regular basis.
I don't know why the electricity's been off here for a long time. My battery's running out. I may just disappear. There's nothing I can do.
Well, I love you.
All right, I'll just be like, bye bye. But let me make this point before it does. In the commentary, Prabhupada quotes from Srila Bilvamangala Thakur, this most fascinating character and this most incredible poet, and he says this. It says Srila Bilvamangala Thakur has estimated that the value of liberation is as follows: Mukti svayam mukulitanjali sevate sman dharmartha kama gatiya samaya pratiksha. Bilvamangala Thakur realized that if one develops his natural devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, mukti, liberation, stands before him with folded hands to offer all kinds of services. In other words, the devotee is already liberated, right? When you have devotion, you already have liberation.
Sure.
There's no need for him to aspire for different types of liberation. The pure devotee is automatically achieves liberation without even desiring it. Oh, hey, Chapuji has electricity over there, so maybe maybe I should just relocate.
Okay.
All right, let me see what I can do. I'll check out right now and I'll check back in.
All right. See you soon. I'll read. I'll continue on
Please
as
continue.
if you are here.
Okay.
The pure devotee is always within the core of my heart, and I am always in the core of the pure devotees. My devotees do not know anything else but me, and I do not know anyone else but them. O Brahmana, let me now advise you for your own protection. Please hear from me. By offending Maharaj Ambarish, you have acted with self-envy. Therefore, you should go to him immediately without a moment's delay. One's so-called prowess, when employed against the devotee, certainly harms he who employs it. Thus, it is the subject, not the object, who is harmed. So this is the idea of making offenses. How do you get rid of that offense? That it's a strike against yourself when you offend somebody else, right? I offend somebody else. I offend Mara. And Mara, she's a devotee. She's like Ambarīṣa. She says, I take no offense, right? That's a natural inclination, Mara. She said, I take no offense. Even if I'm offensive, rude, impolite, she's seeing everything as the hands of God. The devotees, we train ourselves. We see that's in God's hands. Whatever happens to me, happened for my growth. But Lord Vishnu takes offense. And in Lord Vishnu's offense, the only way I can clear that offense, because it's going to come back to me. You should understand, if I offend devotees, that's coming back to me. So I have to immediately go, not to Lord Vishnu and ask for it. I have to go to the person I offended and say, please forgive me. I was way out of line. Please forgive me. Now, sometimes there's situations where you can't really go back to the person, or the person's dead, or that, you've offended a person that died or no longer with you, or it may cause harm to go back to the person, So in that way, you can do it through deep prayer and deep, what's the word I'm looking for? Deep, a deep apologetic sentiment. Like, what's that called? Anyway, so I'd have to do it in that mood. And you have to really own that offense. Otherwise, you go to the person and create and ask for an offense. As devotees, we're just saying, you know what? I'm going to somehow learn from what just happened to me. And that's what Ambarish said. He didn't protest. He didn't fight Ambarish. He didn't dig in his heels and said, oh, yeah? I was just drinking water. Back off. He just took it with folded hands. But Lord Vishnu came to Kaustubha's here. Please unmute me. I have so much power at this point, Kaustubha. All right. Welcome back.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome back. How are you?
Switched rooms and I'm ready to go.
All right.
What were you saying?
I was just talking about how the devotee takes no offense, but we have to go back to the person that we offended and ask for their blessings and forgiveness. Right. And if they're not around, or if it's or if it's like puts us in a dangerous situation, or if they're dead for some reason, we have to go in very sincere remorse. We have to pray and ask for forgiveness within our minds.
Yeah,
that's what I said.
That's the formula. Did you read a verse that said that? Has that come up?
No, no, I didn't.
All right.
I sort of jumped the gun on that, I guess.
That's okay.
A spoiler. Therefore, you should go immediately to him without. Oh, maybe I did. Did you move this already? 69. Yeah. Oh, Brahmana, let me now advise. Okay. 70. For a Brahmana, austerity and learning are certainly auspicious, but when acquired by a person who is not gentle, such austerity and learning are most dangerous. Wow, what a great verse. What good is education if you're not a gentleman? Right?
So true.
You see this, right? You see these people who don't have these nice qualities, and even their education just becomes another notch on their ego. And it's problematic. Then your education just becomes a source of your misery, ultimately. It doesn't help you. If we're trying to develop character through education, but you're just sort of like looking for things to endorse your ego, then your education, your good fortune, your wealth, your beauty, your whatever you have in this world, you're now using it for your own demise.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So hard to develop these qualities. But if we don't know their value, if they're not applied in a way that that serves all, in one sense, the whole Bhagavatam kind of started with an incident wherein someone had a lot of power, but they didn't have a well-developed character, and so they misapplied it. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, Shringy.
That's right.
Little Shringy. He was just a kid.
Yeah, young man. He was a young man, but he had tremendous mystic power.
Young man. Go curse the king. I said, young man.
Yeah, his father, who was a great sage, was in a deep state of meditation. And Maharaj Pariksit, who ultimately is the Bhagavatam is spoken to, approached him, and he was like kind of it seemed like he was a little stressed. He was kind of like very thirsty and tired, and he found this sage, and he didn't even realize that the sage was like kind of in a state of samadhi. He couldn't really perceive him.
Right.
So he said, could you get me some water, please? I'm very thirsty. I am the king and all that. I don't think he even went there, but you think especially someone would be very eager to greet him and help him in any way that he could. The sage didn't even pick up that he's there because he's in this deep state of trance, and feeling frustrated and again kind of out of character, being disappointed, and not realizing that the sage was in a state of trance. He found like a dead snake that was just lying around. And
the old dead snake trick.
If this dead snake wasn't there, the
whole Bhagavatam wouldn't have been spoken. It was, That's why whenever I go to India, I carry rubber snakes with me in hopes of using them to promote transcendental interactions.
Krishna Kata.
Yeah. You'll never know what will unfold. There was a year I brought a big rubber snake to the eco village.
Right.
And my kids put it around various, they left it around people.
In any case, the young son of this powerful mystic cursed the king to die in 7 days. It was and when his father came out of the trance, even though he was the one who had been offended, he was like, "What have you done? This was a silly, small little incident. It's kind of like giving a guy an AR-15 or whatever to someone that just doesn't have what it takes to understand just how powerful this thing is, And similarly here, it's saying, you may have all kinds of, for a Brahmana, austerity and learning are auspicious. You get power through austerity. You get power through learning,
Sure.
And they can be such valuable tools. But if they're acquired by a person who's not, I wonder what word is used for gentle here. It's saumya. Austerity is knowledge, who is very auspicious, cause both of them. Indeed, when such a person is an upstart, Durvāsā. Okay, so that's what it's saying. The person is an upstart. The person doesn't have the required sensitivity to wield such power. Then even these very positive qualities, they just cause problems.
Sure.
It's better if we just have the gentleness. Better that we just have the sensitivity and not have so much learning and not be so capable of austerity.
All right, we got one more verse. Let's do this.
All right, this is the end of the chapter here, huh?
Text 71. O best of the Brahmanas, you should therefore go immediately to King Ambarish, the son of Maharaj Ambariṣa. I wish you all good fortune. If you can satisfy Maharaj Ambarish, then there will be peace for you. You can't get peace until you apologize. You've got to be quick to apologize. It really comes back to the 6 pillars, doesn't it, Kaustubha?
It sure
got
does.
to be quick to apologize.
All right.
Whew. All right, that's it. Miss Mara, what do you got for us?
Hey, okay. Well, all right.
Was it? No, yeah, it's 54. Hey, I've got an appointment with the faculty at Harvard after this.
Oh, yes, of course.
I
Is
think you're
it the
upset.
faculty or
I'm a tenured professor there.
is it the faculty or like the people that work in the food court there?
I got news for you. They're talking about bringing me on permanently, Kaustubha,
Are they?
as one of their educators.
Excellent. That's good news.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for some takeaways?
Yes, Miss Mara.
Take shelter to be flinchless.
Ooh, flinchless.
Vishnu's heart is owned by the love of his devotees.
He's owned.
Don't get triggered. Connect with divine love.
Okay.
Pray to be a lackey.
Pray to be a lackey or a toady. A toady is one who's a little obsequious, a sycophant. I wouldn't say it's not necessarily
I don't
got
think
the.
you should pray to be a toady.
Don't pray to be a toady.
I never even heard the word. It's a real word.
Yeah, it means like it means one who's like
A sycophant.
overly zealous to be servile, but almost because they want some favor, like obsequious.
Mm.
Once you get even a longer word.
Yeah.
Kaustubha, when you make it to Harvard,
I see.
then we can talk.
I think I'm there in a week. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Okay, you got
your
1
class.
week, but I've got it above you. Yeah.
All right.
Even the most powerful people are controlled by love.
Oh,
okay,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Bhagavatam gives a bird's eye view.
Yep. Big bird's eye
Yep.
view.
Bird's eye. Bird's eye, like frozen dinners. Isn't it horrible how we grew up? We grew up in the age of
terrible.
frozen dinners. Ujjval Adhikari is looking at us like, frozen dinners? What's that? It's like a tray.
I think he knows what they are.
You,
He's been to a
well,
grocery store.
Yeah, well, okay. That's right. Why do I think Ujjvala Adhikari just wandered out from the Himalayan cave? He's living in Australia. He knows all these things.
But he doesn't go back like we do to TV dinners or shake
TV
and bake.
dinners. Not only that, we
Beefaroni.
had these things like, they weren't even TV dinners. They were below TV dinners. They were like a thing of meat and gravy frozen that you'd put in boiling water.
Oh God!
And then you
I don't
cut them
wanna hear
open,
this.
throw them on a piece of bread. I grew up on. Think
Terrible.
about this is the stuff fueling my intelligence. I could be
That's
so
where
much.
your intelligence comes
I know I could be so much smarter if they just cooked me food instead of giving me frozen.
And yet you still made it to Harvard.
Yeah, go figure. Go figure that. Huh?
Okay.
They'll let anybody.
Makes me
in.
worry about Harvard.
Yeah, it makes me worry about the future of Harvard. If you're divest in Harvard. If they're letting me in that door.
Well, Groucho Marx said I would never want to join any
Any university. I've never applied to any university that would have me as a facilitator.
Okay.
All right, back to our takeaways.
Stock in Harvard just went down. Okay.
Divine love includes Brahman realization.
It includes it. You get that automatically.
Right inside it.
Pray for forgiveness.
Pray for it.
Pray.
Don't use your opulences for your own demise.
My many opulences.
And
That's a weird. That's an exclusively Hare Krishna word.
opulence.
Yeah, I don't
it
think I've
is.
ever saed opulence until I became a devotee of Lord Krishna.
It is.
We just say that word maybe twice a day. I say opulence. You know what I mean? Oh yeah.
You need to apologize for a peaceful mind.
You need to apologize for peaceful mind.
Yeah, it helps.
Okay, everyone,
People
listen.
are asking 6 or 7.
Tomorrow. 7.
7
7
a.m. tomorrow. We're
The rest of the
on
week.
for the rest of the week. Isn't that good news?
Nice.
I think Kaustubha's traveling. I got Jiva as my co-host this week.
Oh, look at you two.
And me and Jiva, the Wonder Twins, are going to go at it. Yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody. I've got to go to Harvard. I can't stay very long. I've got to go to Harvard today. I don't know if every one of you can get in. There's a test you have to pass, but maybe you can. Just click on that link and see if they'll let you in.
Send some prayers for Laura Wright.
Did you share
Prayers
the
for
link?
Laura Wright. What's up with Laura Wright? Oh, she's having
Where is it?
surgery tomorrow.
Okay, Laura.
Oh, I'm going to send you some healing vibes with my opulent fingers. There. You are healed, Laura Wright. Like they didn't do the
Don't
surgery
go
yet.
to the surgery.
Huh?
She doesn't need to go to the surgery.
You don't even need to go. I've healed you. Gyanagumya, check out that podcast I did with Gyanagumya. Gyanagumya, put that podcast link on the board if you can. I did a podcast with Gyanagumya, old hardcore guy, disciple of Bhakti Marg Swami.
Okay.
Yeah, get that on the board. It was good. What's the podcast? It was called the TNF podcast.
TNF.
TNF. What does it mean again?